And welcome to the Red Company Podcast, where hopefully you can hear us. We're just being respectful here. You just came back from Florida. It's been fun.
Even though I did take a negative COVID test.
Yep.
Stop paying attention to that and pay attention to what's on the table.
Anthony, how do we get those? How do you buy that?
This, my friends, is the new Eagle Edgeless 450.
I like the look of it.
It comes pre-packed and ready to rock and roll.
And the new packaging that maybe most of you guys saw at SEMA or recently at Mobile Tech Expo.
So where do you get this at, Levi?
Amazon.com.
It
It's
is
the
an
only place
Amazon.
you can get it. It is not available on our website. It is only exclusively available on Amazon.com.
So this is a 6-pack of the new teal color. It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning.
Gorgeous.
We will be talking about this
Amazing in person. Yeah.
We'll be talking about this more and more, as the week goes on. But it's just a super cool new color. The GSM is again kind of an exclusive. They're being on Amazon at $450, so it's not $350, it's not $500. It's kind of right there in the middle. And
well, if people recall, our old Eagle Edgeless, the original Eagle Edgeless was a $450.
Yeah.
So
going back to our roots.
We're going it's kind of a throwback, kind of a it's like the when Chevrolet redesigned the Camaro, and they kind of wanted to do that, bring back the old style in a new way. It's kind of what we're doing with this.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys can pick that up. Oh, the Teagle, very nice, Alex. Very nice. Look at that, just amazing.
Wow.
Coming up with these great new
talons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no talons, but you can absolutely call it the Teagle. I'm totally fine with that. It's it's a super cool color, and check it out on Amazon.com. Just type in Eagle Edgeless 450 6-pack. It should pop up. And again, it'll be shipping in this new packaging. What's kind of cool about this is that when you're done, using it,
you have a Rag Company bag.
Well, you have a Rag Company bag, and you put things in it. It's got a Ziploc on it, so you can store things.
Cereal, snacks, gummy bears, and just dry them out.
Pillow covers.
You can use it as a pillow cover.
The options really are endless, and they're really good looking.
Yeah,
so
you can take it grocery shopping with you, and that could be your bag.
Yeah.
36 by 48, yo, Hurl, huh? That's Dane has one of those.
Those are a classic, and we stopped selling them a long, long time ago, back before we even had the media.
We don't even have them in the warehouse.
Anything like that.
We don't even have them in the back in the warehouse.
Because literally there were like 5 people who bought the bath towel variant, and it was sad. I was one of them because I loved it so much.
You paid full price for that.
But it was hard to convince folks. Well, basically, I pulled it out of the back one day when we decided we couldn't sell them, and then we sold the rest to a dog parlor. Which was kind of fun because the dogs ended up getting very, very high-end
very nice.
towels at a very fair price because they'd just been sitting for so long because nobody bought them. Because the fact of the matter is when you make a microfiber towel in this high quality, that big,
it takes all the dog hair.
It
takes all the dog hair out of the dog.
At least... It was very expensive at the time, so I can understand why a lot of people didn't
point
buy
is,
it. But
you guys can pick that up, get it today, Amazon.com, search Eagle 450.
Yo Hurl says they'll bark for one.
He'll bark for one. No. You can have one of Dane's old ones.
Oh. The only thing more expensive than making a bunch of those bath towels is making only one.
Yeah.
That is a very expensive proposition.
Slightly used bath towel from 6 years ago.
Bath towel.
No.
Enjoy. I've only washed it twice.
Gross.
I would have to put rags to riches through that thing at least 20 times.
At least, Dane.
And that's the good detergent.
So really quick, before we start jumping into some major stuff, just some house cleaning. So again, Eagle Edgeless 450 in the teal color, Amazon.com, exclusive color, exclusive size. Go pick it up, right? I think a lot of people are going to like it. 70-30 blend. It's amazing, right? Couple other things here. So, Grand Ambassador of the Year, right?
Yeah. We're making the call today.
So maybe today, maybe sometime this week. So we actually we have to.
Someone's going to receive a phone call.
We need to probably set it up with a phone call. We probably need to. I don't know. We're going to figure out what our plan is there. But we don't think we're going to film it. There's really no reason to film it. But we we have all of everything picked out. Everything's all done. It's just a matter of announcing it, and so we're sorry that it's taken so long. It's just Levi was gone last week. He's back now. Dane's got to make the graphic, and then after that, we should be good to go. But I just appreciate all the Grand Ambassadors working so hard, right? Especially in our new Q1 of 2022. I mean, they're killing it. They're doing such an amazing job. Quality pictures, quality videos, unboxing videos, everything else in between. It's amazing. And so, and then 2021, right? They're still going at it, right?
Yeah.
They're like, nobody's announced it yet, right? There's still a chance.
Yeah, they're still killing it.
There's just some really good guys out there that are really doing a great job. And yesterday I did go live, actually, with a couple of our Grand Ambassadors. So Bomb Detail, Jose, as well as Viper Chairs, right?
Yeah.
Bomb Detail is doing unboxing of his new Viper Chair Black Edition. And so we went live for about 30 minutes or so as he unboxed it. Me and Alex got to talk a lot and kind of go over what's new within the Viper world. Very interesting stuff going on over there.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I came up with my own idea.
You did?
I did. I told them that I would like a titanium chair.
Very nice.
It will be their most expensive chair yet.
I think they told me you said that.
Yeah,
if I recall.
Titanium, then Alcantara, right?
Yeah.
Stitched with then we're gonna do titanium bolts, right? So titanium hardware. It's gonna be like a $5,000 chair.
You just want everything to stick to it.
Are you selling the Evo to cover this?
Yeah. So that's gonna be. So what I'm gonna do is it's a straight trade. My Honda CRZ for a Viper chair.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not bad.
I think I'm making out on top, to be
Seems
honest.
like a fair trade.
You
got one chair with wheels for a different chair with wheels.
Are they making
there
you
you
a
go.
high chair?
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
Dino, no.
Ooh.
Wow, 150 bucks. There we go. Let's get that
no.
listed on eBay, guys.
Oh.
Dane's personal
No.
Teagle R&D bathrobe.
Yoshi, no.
Send your bids to Dane.
This is haunting.
R&D, that's right. Yeah,
Haunting.
no. Best or worst band name? Worst. Wow.
Dubbed.
That's
Dubbed.
Just no
Dane's
thanks.
used bath towels. That's the
Oh,
worst
my
bath
gosh.
I have other bath towels, but
So, it'll be, we're going to get all that figured out, get that all squared away here in the next day or two. So,
Yeah, very soon.
patient.
Very, very soon. And then a couple other things to look up.
Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say Thursday for Q&A live, we're going to have the chemist of PNS,
it's going to be a
Dave
special
Phillips, in the studio. So if you guys have any chemical questions that
This
you want
is
to
the
ask
time.
the father of Beadmaker, you want to ask those questions. If you've got, maybe you just wonder, why does this work? How does this work? What's the difference between this and this? That's what Dave's going to be here for. He's going to be here for the whole 2 hours, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a new recurring thing we're going to be doing on the Q&A, where we're going to have Dave in. Our game plan is to have him in like every 6 to 8 weeks on the Q&A.
That's
So,
exciting.
We're going
That
to do a
was-
little chemist corner with him.
Yeah, little chemist corner, little hanging out, little
Yeah.
talk. So start thinking of some of the questions you want to ask Dave. Maybe you want to know, why does Rags to Riches work so well? It can be PNS questions. It could be other
Honestly,
chemistry questions.
if you know the basic chemistry of another product, or you just have a question about like the types of chemicals used for different things, he can tell you in like broad strokes, like big picture stuff, what other products might be made of or how they interact, all that kind of stuff on a chemical level, on the chemistry
I had a
level,
talk with him last night.
they may not get from like fellow detailers. This is something that goes another step.
Yeah, he said basically the only thing he's not going to talk about are obviously your trade secrets.
Sure.
For the company, like recipes and things. But he's going to talk about the general, like the umbrella that is chemistry.
Yeah.
And said he's down to talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about. He's going to be here. He's really excited about it.
Dave is fantastic because he keeps a very level head about it all.
Yeah.
And he's just very matter of fact, but he's happy to tell you stuff. As long as you have a general idea of what you're asking, you'll get an answer for virtually anything.
Yep.
So, he's going to be a fantastic
So we'll have that
addition.
on Thursday. Going to be awesome. Very excited. What else, Anthony?
I don't know. So have your questions there. I guess that's a big thing. And then lastly, I think on my list of things that are happening here, we are, Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So it's February,
Yep.
right? So I don't know if anybody has any birthdays this month, so that's easy. So we can just kind of skip past that for the most part.
All right.
Right?
I have a birthday.
In February?
Yeah, on the 24th.
Wow.
No,
23
Levi,
days
your
from
birthday
now.
is in March.
No, 24th.
Huh.
And no, I just associate your birthday with St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I think it's actually on St. Patrick's Day.
No,
Really?
no. My birthday's on the 24th. I'm going to be 40,
Are you sure you're not Irish?
I'm going to be 42 this year
42.
on the 24th. An
Wow.
opposite date kind of thing. Pretty excited
Interesting.
about it. Was talking to my son about it, telling him he has 23 days to get his gifts in order
Oh boy.
for me.
Paint all of his rocks for you.
Yep. And so
Wow.
he was very excited about it. Then he started talking about leprechaun traps. And I had to remind him my birthday's not on St. Patrick's Day.
See, it's not
Kind of
just me.
sounds like he knows more than you.
Yeah.
Very straight.
Yeah. So, okay. So we have a birthday month, right, for Levi. So
Send your birthday presents to Levi at the Rag Company, 5430 West State, Boise, Idaho,
what day does it
83703.
land on? Can we do a live unboxing
We
of,
can, yeah.
of
On the
Levi's?
24th, I don't know what day that is.
What if it's just everybody sends in a bunch of trinkets? Like, it's not anything nice. It's just a bunch of just really crappy, like, rusty trinkets where Levi just opens them live on camera.
I don't mind doing that. You guys can
God!
send
If
me
somebody
garbage.
sends you a can of like surstrumming or however you
So
pronounce
it's
it,
on a Thursday.
Is it really?
So Thursday Q&A, the last Thursday of the month, will be my birthday extravaganza. Levi's birthday blowout.
Can we make, is Jeff going to be mad if I say, hey, can you guys send gifts to 5430 West State Street, Boise, Idaho? But they
send a
have to
gift
be
to me
not,
for
they
my
can't
birthday.
be nice gifts. They just need to be trinkets that when you look at it, you say, wow, this kind of reminds me of Levi.
No,
So
I want
for
somebody
example-
to send him a can of surstrumming or
for-
however you pronounce
For example,
that. Because
a rusted railroad tie,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah,
We
a
got
spike,
those.
yeah.
And we were like, this reminds me of Levi, right?
Yeah.
He could say, I could turn this into a knife, right?
Yeah, I could.
Right? But maybe something like
Maybe
that.
like a coil spring from a car.
Levi's rusted trinket unboxings or something. I don't know. We can have
John's
fun
just
with that.
getting packages after
Oh,
packages. He's like,
no.
what the heck
John's
is all this?
like, guys, like 60 things came in for Levi today,
Yeah.
and they don't all look nice, and so that's the whole
I'll
point.
say my comments haven't been loading, but I look down at my phone here for backup comments. I see Alan's in the chat, so you better say hi.
Awesome.
Hey,
So, hello, guys. All right. So, getting into anything
Weekends.
else? Anything left?
No, it's it.
I got back from Mobile Tech.
yeah, tell us about
Mobile Tech
that.
Expo 2022. Ladies
Recap
and gentlemen,
episode.
you
Let's go.
guys missed out if you didn't make it down there.
We didn't.
It felt like I saw everybody there except for you two.
Yeah, we
I don't
weren't
know what
there.
happened. You know, we met at the airport
Yeah.
at about 4:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
So Juan drove up from Idaho Falls,
Yeah.
parked in my driveway, spent the night at my house. Then the
Where did
next
he
morning,
sleep at?
he slept upstairs in the theater.
Oh, that's nice.
Then we grabbed our bags. We drove his new Suburban or Tahoe, Z71 Tahoe, to the airport, parked it in the long-term parking, then got into the airport. Me, him, and John hopped on the flight to Salt Lake, and then Salt Lake to Orlando. Not a bad flight. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was great. Josh flew first class
Yeah.
on a layout bed kind of setup. Very nice. He went the night before.
Yeah.
Because he is now an IDA board member for certification committee.
That's
so,
nice. Yeah.
so Josh had to go early because he had to do the annual board retreat where they set up and plan for all the goals for the IDA for the year. Alan was there because he's now the new IDA president.
That's
From
amazing.
AM Details. So I had a good talk with Alan. He said
Mr.
anytime we'd like to have
President.
him on the live, he would be more than welcome to join us.
He's been great the last few times
So
we've had him.
we'll get him on some more this year. So they did that. When we landed, it was about 3:30. We got to the hotel, took an Uber straight to the hotel. It was at the Rosen Shingle Creek, so it was all in one place this year, again like last time. But this time, we weren't staying at the Airbnb across the street. We were staying in the hotel. So checked in, got our rooms, I changed, threw on some deodorant, went back downstairs, went to the retreat. I got there about 4 o'clock. It was going on till about 6 or 7. I think it went on till 7 o'clock. So I was in the meeting for another 3 hours with Josh. Got to see everybody, talked to everybody. Then we met up and went and got some dinner with one of Juan's buddies, Mario. He ended up spending most of the weekend really with us hanging out. So Had a delicious Italian dinner right there at the hotel. I had a bowl of spaghetti and meatball. The meatball, Anthony, was probably that big around in the plate.
Levi, that's not true.
Yeah,
So
it was.
everything is contained in this hotel resort place.
Dane, they had like 15 restaurants, like 10 bars. Really great. So we were able to get a lot of stuff. That was really cool. So we got to have fun with everybody. So that was kind of a neat thing that we never got to do last time. And all the Anthony home vasectomy kid.
G. Davis, you taunted me into this because you swore I wasn't going to post your stuff.
I love that.
I'm cringing, but I'll post it for like 30 seconds.
Awesome.
Vasectomy kid. That's hilarious.
Oh, no.
That's amazing.
Oh, no.
Oh, gee, coming in with the heavy hitter. That's right, Dino. Sorry, continue, Levi.
So I also got to see Kirby Thompson. He was celebrating his birthday. Him and his lovely wife were there also. I got to sit and even on Kirby's birthday, got to have a little sit down while they were waiting for their food at their dinner table, which was great. But anyway, so Wednesday night, grabbed some Italian food. Okay. Thursday morning, got up for Education Day.
Oh, yes.
I had 2 classes I was teaching, 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. My 1 o'clock Microfiber 101 class was absolutely packed. Packed to the gills, people standing up in the back. It was really cool to see. Yeah, right? I know, G, that's what it was like. So then I had our class. We set up our booth in the morning, got the Rag Company booth all set up. Then did my 2 classes, had a great time. Second class was fun. Then that evening had our RT meeting with everybody, with all the RTs from the IDA, so that are our new RITs, I should say. Then headed back to, where did we go to? We headed back up to our rooms, changed, and then met Lars, Ram, and Gernot, and Michael from Color Lock, all at what we called a Land Remembered Steakhouse.
A Land Remembered?
A Land
A
Remembered.
lamb? Are you saying land or
L-A-N-D,
lamb?
a land.
L-A-M-B.
No, N-D.
A lamb remembered.
No, a
I
land.
like that.
Yeah,
That's
a
like a
land.
child's
Every dinner
book.
is just like a new
So,
funeral service for a lamb.
it's
We
like
had
a
some delicious bread and butter that came out cut like alligators. Alligator butter. I don't think it was real from real alligators, but
I doubt it.
we sat there, had some drinks, had some beverages, and then we ordered dinner.
Okay.
So while we're ordering dinner, right, we're all looking. Ram's like, filet mignon looks delicious. Mm-hmm. The rest of us, him and Michael get the filet mignon. The rest of us, so me, Josh, Gernot, John, and Lars, order the 20-ounce ribeye.
Did you really?
Okay.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It was heavenly. Came out, that steak was probably that big around and about that thick.
No way.
Looked more than 20 ounces.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
With a bone about that
That's
big
more
on
than
it.
20 ounces.
It's delicious.
Is a bone-in ribeye?
Bone-in ribeye.
So it's a cowboy ribeye.
With a whole hunk of garlic that had been roasted. That was so squishy, you could squeeze the
Just
garlic
melt in
juice.
your mouth.
Drag it
Yeah.
all over the thing.
Is there any butter? No butter.
No butter.
No butter, okay.
Just salt and pepper on it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
So you
So
go medium rare on that
medium
thing?
rare. That's how I do my ribeyes. It's the king of steaks.
Yeah.
So we get our food. While we're ordering our sides, the guy goes, big plate sides, share for the table. We all order baked potatoes. And the guy's going around, he's like, 1 baked potato for the table. Okay. Mm-hmm. 2 baked potatoes for the table. Just so you know, guys, these are big potatoes. 3 baked potatoes for the table. All right. So just so you know, guys, big potatoes. Mm-hmm. And by the time it comes around to me, I'm now going to be ordering the 6th or 5th baked potato for the table. So I stop.
So how big are these potatoes?
That's my
Somebody
question.
better
So
ask.
I had to channel a bit of Dane in me, and I go, so how big is this potato?
How are the potatoes here?
Yeah.
How big is this potato you're talking about? Because I'm from Idaho, and I know that we ship out the largest, most bountiful potatoes out of our state. We export them.
Yeah, we don't get to keep them for ourselves.
Right. So I said, where I'm from, I get a potato about that big. Yet you keep stating it's a large potato. Josh goes, is it a Schweppity potato?
Is this a relative thing?
Specific type of Simplot potato that's like that big around. And the guy goes, Oh, no. They're big. But we try to get people to share them. And I said, well, I've never shared a baked potato before. So
Yeah, I'm not really.
They're trying to get you to
wanna
spend
make
less
sure.
right
I'm
now.
not
That's
really
a little bit
into putting my
suspect.
fingers into the same potato.
Right. So I go, anyway, I'll have a baked potato. He goes, okay, wow, 6 potatoes. Amazing. Then Ram orders a potato as well. The guy's like, wow, 7 potatoes for the
Let me
table.
guess. The potato's as big as Ram
Right?
is.
So we're sitting there hanging out, waiting for our food. Guy comes back. Guys, bad news. Potatoes sold out.
What?
Whole restaurant's out of baked potatoes.
Excuse me?
Would you guys like mashed potatoes? And we said,
Hold
sure. And he goes, just again, guys, it was a shareable plate. A lot of you all want. We're going to cut that number in half.
Alex, a true
And we go,
connoisseur.
yeah.
You have my respect.
Yeah, there you go, Dallas. So I go, it's just fine. Just bring out mashed potatoes for all of us, right? So shows up. The mashed potatoes are in a cup, like a pudding cup. That is not a shareable amount of potatoes in any way, shape, or form. I ate all my potatoes. Ate them all.
Yeah, and like one scoop.
And the entire steak.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
I hate that. I'd be so annoyed by that.
I was like, this isn't shareable. I
So-
look at Josh, and Josh is like cleaning his bowl.
What
So-
is
His
this?
potatoes.
Food for
That's
ants?
where I would go because I just don't care anymore. I would grab the guy and I'd say, "Hey man, do I look like a pretty big guy to you?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, you look like
he was
pretty
he was
he's
also a big
He's
guy.
like, "You sound like a pretty big guy, right?"
Be honest, is a
I
potato
can say,
bigger
"Do you
than my
think
fist
that
or
this
small?
is enough potato for me
Yeah.
as a big guy?"
Yeah.
He'd probably say, "No, I don't think that's enough." And I say, "Then why did you give me the false
Yeah,
advertisement?"
it felt like let's just cut the bottom of this Pepsi thing and we're just gonna
It's
throw
not
the baked
enough.
potatoes.
It's not enough.
Shareable amount, gentlemen, for the table.
It almost felt like
I could
reverse
drink
psychology,
that amount of
where he's
mashed
doing like the hard
potatoes.
sell, but in reverse.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
the steak, amazing,
Okay.
unbelievable, delicious steak. Probably one of the top 3 steaks I've ever had. in my life.
No, top
Seriously?
3?
Top 3.
Levi, that's saying quite a bit.
Number 1, Prime and Beyond.
Okay.
Number 2 is one that I cook myself.
Okay, yeah.
Brag
Number
much.
3.
Just one time. There's like this is
Oh no,
I only
every
pressed
time. That's why
myself
it always hits, but it never hits harder than it's always a
Got it.
top 2
Yeah.
steak every time when I cook it because nothing hits. Now, if I go to Prime and Beyond and I pick up a ribeye and I bring it home and I cook it,
Well,
then that'll be a number 1. That would become a number 1 spot because it's combining the meat from Prime and Beyond with
Yep.
my own cooking skills,
There you
my own
go.
barbecuing skills. So
Yeah.
that's something that so number 3, probably 3rd best steak I've ever had next to that. So great night. Then the next day was the first day of Mobile Tech. So we had a great show, busy show, went so fast, so many people stopping by the booth, saying hi, taking photos, just a lot of fun. The day went by, next thing you know, you open the doors, next thing you know, it's 2:00.
yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh. All of us, none of us went and got food. All of us, all of a sudden at 2:33 are like lightheaded, dizzy, like, oh, this is not, we're going to pass out. Like, not good. So I run to the convenience store in the hotel and grab some Cliff bars, bring them back over to the booth so we can just get a little something in us.
Yeah.
Then that next night, we get ourselves some burgers at the burger joint there, have some delicious hamburgers, hang out, have a good night, just kind of talk, chill out with everybody. The fun thing about the Rosen is everybody's there. Everybody's at the hotel. So
It's
you
a party.
You can literally just walk into one of the bars and see everybody, and then you walk out, walk into the other bar, there's everybody there too. And you're like, oh, hey, what are you doing? And so that was really cool, was to be able to see everybody hanging out and just having that ability to like talk to people and hang out with people. And that was fun.
Yeah.
And it was different people every night. So that was really cool. But before we went out, it was the IDA Banquet Awards on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So had an awesome little party that was Friday night. So awesome little party, IDA Awards. Congratulations to Alan, obviously being the new president as well as supplier of the year.
Congrats.
That's amazing.
And then Josh Petro, new board member for the IDA, got
Nice.
to be sworn in as a board member. Now, for myself, in case you guys are wondering, I am no longer the certification committee chair. I served 2.5 years as the certification committee chair. Got a lot of stuff done in those 2.5 years. A lot of stuff. Very proud of what the
You're
work
always very busy.
me and Clint did. So, one of the cool things, once you've sat on as a chair or you've been on the board, you're allowed to get into more than one committee. So for you guys, you're only allowed one committee at a time.
Okay.
Right? Once you become a leader, so to speak, they allow you to be you can sit on other committees. So I currently, because we're Founders Club, I sit on the Founders Club, and then I sit still in certification committee. But this year I added chapter development. So I asked to be in chapter development this year as well. The goal is one thing Alan asked, and one thing that he wanted to make sure was we had a liaison between CertCom and chapter development that could help do a lot more of these online SVs when needed.
Yeah.
So that we could help out these chapters get fast track some of their leadership members to become recognized trainers in their area. And that way we could get that going. So I volunteered to also sit on chapter development. So now I'm in 3 committees. So that's fun. So anyway, good news. I'm excited to see what we're going to be able to do, how we're going to be able to help grow. Negative. Yeah, man, that's swayed
Josh
my
Petro's
vote.
negative campaign ad swayed
He
my
sure
vote.
put a lot of them. I thought that was
Wow.
very strange because he didn't need to do that.
Negative
but
ad buys. That's an impressive tactic
potatoes
there.
in Canada, or as Alex Dewar calls it, America's hat.
And for Yo Hurl, the broccoli cartel actually has nothing to do with food. They're the people in charge of the James Bond
Trying to take a
franchise, so
drink,
take
Glenn.
it up with them.
So, yeah, it was. So that was a fun party. So our table had Color Lock, us, Brian Guy was with us.
Oh,
Good to see him. He was hanging out with the Color Lock team.
cool.
And then there was a detailer from Seattle. She cleans yachts. Her name's
neat.
Tamara Dinkins. And I saw her. She was in my class, a couple of my classes. I ran into her a couple times. I noticed when she walked in, she didn't have a place to sit at the tables. You know, there's big round tables you sit at. And so we had a couple spots open. And so Mario came in and sat at one of the empty spots. And I noticed she was looking for somewhere to sit. And so part of the fun thing about Mobile Tech Expo is you get to hang out with everybody. You get to see people. You get to learn new things that maybe you didn't learn about. And so I looked at the guys. I was like, I'm going to bring her over. Waved it down. She came and joined. New friend, hung out with us during the show.
Awesome.
The events, it was rad. It was great. And it was one of those things where she even said when we were leaving, the last night I saw her in one of the restaurants, she was hanging out, talking with some other detailers. And she goes, oh my gosh, this girl that I'm talking to actually tried to apply with me twice, and I turned her down. And now she started her own detailing business out of Tacoma, and she's here. Like,
Hey, my hometown.
she goes, that's
Bum,
crazy. Now we can do some stuff together. And she's like, I never knew all these people existed. You're always by yourself detailing, and you never know about all of the industry that's around you or all the industry and people that are around. And that's really what it is about Mobile Tech Expo. It's probably one of the greatest things is you get to be with other detailers. You get to bounce off other questions. You get to learn and meet people that maybe you didn't. I walked by all the Oregon detailers. Every detailer from Oregon was always together for the whole thing. And I thought that was super cool to see all the guys from Oregon hanging out, you know, and that was fun. You'd also we had Patrick and Gary hanging out with us. Patrick and Gary are out of California. And Bernice was with us. Bernice is out of Arizona. You know, it was just fun to have all these different detailers hanging out.
Yeah.
Just excited to see each other. And that's really what MTE is about. So if you've never been to MTE, I recommend the Orlando Mobile Tech Expo. It's probably the most everybody goes. Really good, really fun. Had a blast. It was
I'm
nice.
glad to hear it was a hit
Yeah,
this
the
year.
only hard part was the Sunday morning.
Oh?
Well, had to wake up early.
Well, okay.
We had to
you
be up
do
at,
that a lot,
We had to be up
though.
at 3:30.
That's pretty early.
Yeah.
So we could meet our Uber at 4:30 downstairs. I pre-packed an Uber, pre-planned it. 3:30 Orlando time is 1:30 a.m. Boise time.
Basically, you're still awake.
Yeah.
You haven't gone to bed yet.
Juan and I came down at 4:15 to go outside. There were guys still sitting down in the chairs in the lobby of the hotel, hanging out, drinking beer, talking.
I believe it.
That was crazy. Then
Yowza.
we got to the airport, flew back. We got back to Boise by 1 o'clock. No issues. Flew Orlando to Atlanta, Atlanta to Boise. Business class, Delta Comfort Plus. Great snacks, great treats.
Okay.
You know,
Good vibes, easy flights.
All easy flights, but just that flight. Jeff and I did it 1 year where we left at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We had a 5 a.m. flight or 6 a.m. flight out of Orlando. I remember your dad and I hated that flight so bad that morning that we said we're never doing that again.
Yeah.
So then when we flew with you guys and 2 years ago, we always flew out in the afternoon.
Right.
Or like by noon. So we had some time to sleep in, catch our breath, all
and we're
that.
getting there
We still
like
get
in the evening.
Well,
and
we
it's
still get
fine.
home early. We still get
Yeah.
home at like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So your dad, when he made the reservation, said, "Oh, this will be great." I don't think he remembered how painful that flight is. It just physically it hurts because you don't technically
Your
already
body's
didn't
in
sleep,
pain,
but then you
yeah.
don't get fully rested on the plane when you sleep.
When you just, I don't know, you always feel that kind of weird queasiness of like
Yeah.
a mixture of not enough sleep. I probably got caffeine injection at the wrong time,
Yeah.
and now I'm riding on a plane.
Yeah, your
It
eyes start to
just-
hurt, like just painful. So
Jeez.
we got home by 1:30. Poor Juan had to drive back to Idaho Falls.
Oh, don't envy
What?
that.
Immediately?
Yeah, so
Couldn't
Juan
he just
got
stay
in
like
his
another
truck.
night at your house and then leave?
No, I told him he could, but Juan was like, "Nah, I'm gonna drive to my parents in Burley,
dude.
and then I'll probably hang out. I might spend the night there, or
Yeah.
I'll eat dinner or something." So he got to his parents' house. He spent 2 hours with his folks. He said, ate dinner, took a nap, all that stuff. Then drove the rest of the way to Idaho Falls. He texted all of us at 7:30 and said, "I'm home." I made it home. Josh and I said, in solidarity, we have both stayed awake for you to let you know we're with you. But it is starting to hurt.
Yeah.
7:30, I was like this on the couch. Like
Oh,
I was
totally.
like, I can't keep my eyes open. So Carly goes, "Well, let's watch something." We're watching Yellow Jackets on Showtime. If any of you guys have,
Katie's watching that right now.
so good. Have you? You're not watching it?
No, heck no, I'm not watching it because but it
it's so
sounds
good.
intense. The soundtrack's incredible, and I would say that it
It's
seems
so
like
good.
it's the most suspenseful thing.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
really good.
I don't have a clue about
Dane,
this show at all.
You will love
I
it.
know nothing.
You will love it. It's
that
about.
sounds intriguing.
It takes place in current time and 1996.
Okay.
And it's about a soccer team, a girls' high school soccer team.
Okay.
That has to fly from New Jersey to Seattle. And on the way, their plane crashes in the wilderness. And they're teenagers. And
So it's alive,
it's
but
like
not
Alive.
in the Andes?
like Alive, but not a happy ending.
Alive was hardly happy.
All right. This is also not a happy ending. And then on top of that, it's how these girls, those that survived, deal with it in their day-to-day lives now.
That does sound
Yeah.
intriguing.
There's
Really good.
There's a lot of like
and the
outlets.
soundtrack's amazing.
The soundtracks, like I said, the suspense that they make is like pretty amazing.
What kind of
There's a
soundtrack?
lot of
It's
like
all
there's-
1990s music.
Oh, sick.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a lot of explicit content too. I mean, they really just kind of get after it,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. And so
Yeah.
it's just
No,
it's
Dane,
definitely
it's pretty insane.
it's definitely interesting in
It's-
how they cope with
It's
the
good.
problems.
What service would I find this on?
Showtime.
Okay, Showtime.
So,
I can find
yeah.
it.
Right now on Prime, you can add Showtime 7 days free.
So you have to
That's
get through
plenty
it
of time
fast.
for you to binge the first season because that's all there
Okay.
is. It just finished. First episode 12 just released like a week ago.
So this is a new show just ending its
just
first
ending.
season.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could get on, burn through that
Cool.
thing, and then cancel it if you'd like. And
Now I
then
gotta
wait till the
check
next
that
season
out.
comes back. But really good show, great reviews, having a blast with that.
Hmm.
So anyway, came home. Carly goes, "Let's watch one of those episodes. I'm going to take a bath first." And I said, "I'm going to take a nap." She got in the tub. I took a nap, woke up, watched the episode. One episode was all I could handle. Then back to bed.
Yep.
Slept. Monday morning I took the day off. John took the day off. Josh took
Yeah.
the day off. Got up, took the kids to school. Then I was on the phone literally from 9 o'clock when I called Gabe until till 2:30 solid. Phone and emails and video chats and all that stuff with doing all the work that I needed to do at home. So not really a day off, just on. And then I had about an hour, then went and picked up the kids, and then back on the phone with Bob and Dave. Finally finished my day about 5:15. So, but all in all, really fun day, easy day. Carly and I then finished after the kids went to bed, we ended up finishing the show at Yellow Jackets and watch some Royal Gemstones.
Ah, yeah.
We've still got a couple episodes of we've got Beforeigners, we've got Boba Fett, so we've got a couple episodes we're gonna enjoy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I got some TV I need to catch up on.
Sure.
But crazy weekend, long weekend. Thank you to everybody that came out. Love seeing everybody. Happy birthday again to Kirby Thompson. That was really fun seeing him and his wife and spending time with them. So super cool. I got a couple T-shirts. One from Mario, and then one from Alex Russell from his podcast, Detail Solutions Podcast.
Oh, cool.
So really fun. Just a good show. It was fun to see Justin Day and his wife. They were there. They had
Nice.
Jane with them. Justin won Detailer of the Year, so congratulations, Justin.
Oh.
And it was super fun. So anyway,
All right. Man.
thank you guys. All right, how was your weekends?
Whew. Well, Anthony, how would you like to go? I mean, I titled this, put Tales from the Crypto as the title, as a little pun.
I'll
so.
let you go, and then I'll jump into it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll get to yours then. Mine is pretty simple. I mean, honestly, I'm sad that I didn't get to go to MTE because I do miss everybody. Just from the industry, getting to see everybody. It's always fun. We always have great hangouts, chats, and stuff, and you just that camaraderie. You kind of miss it. With the lack of traveling, it's really started to kind of get at you. But at the same time, it's also like I don't necessarily like the traveling bit. I like the being there bit. So that can kind of factor into it. But anyway, that is missed. So I miss all of you, to those of you who are watching, and I look forward to when we all get together, either at SEMA or something coming up later this year, or TRC perhaps. I think there's a lot of good opportunity for that. So I look forward to seeing you there. If you plan on being there, you know who you are. As far as other stuff goes, though, obviously with my house having flooded and all that good fun, just barely 2 weeks into it, super great. Highly don't recommend it to anybody ever. My house is all kinds of ripped up on all of the floors there. Just super awesome. I just got this house, and now when I walk in there to check in and see how things are going, I look and I'm like, oh, first floor bathroom doesn't have a ceiling. Second floor bathroom doesn't have a ceiling or a wall on the side there. Top floor bathroom, the tub came out and was sawed in half, and they pulled it out of the...
Yeah.
It's all gone.
The big deep soaker tub?
The super deep, awesome soaker tub. They're like, we can't get out this normally, so they're just...
so now you got to buy a soaker tub.
Okay, cool. Guess that's no more. So, so those guys have done the drying process. That's mostly worked out. And then the plumber's coming in tomorrow to do their bit, and then the resto people will show up after that to get everything back to where it was, hopefully. So...
Wow.
It's nerve-wracking, and it'll probably be another month of this, give or
you
take.
Crashing on your mom and dad's couch?
So I'm crashing in my old bedroom at my parents' house. Nice. So that's fun. My old wallpaper's still in there. Again.
This time he's got his girlfriend.
Talk to your insurance company about putting you up in a hotel for the month.
They offered, but at the same time, my parents live close enough to work. I'm like, okay,
it's hotel life. Dane,
Dane,
pool. You could have gone to the home to suites.
Dane, you get to stay at your parents' house in your old bed with your girlfriend
and your dog.
When does that get to happen? You know what I'm saying? In life, like if you were to think back to your 16-year-old self, right?
I'm just thinking of rom-coms from the early 2000s.
Just think about all the days though that you could cover out of the home to suites.
Oh, Lordy.
That your insurance would cover. You could have your delicious breakfast.
Here's the thing: the way that insurance stuff works,
free.
They reimburse it, so you still got to foot the bill up front, and then hopefully they cover you later. I don't like playing that game, so I'm just like, nope, not going to invite that factor. I'd rather make sure that I don't take advantage anywhere and make sure they cover me properly.
I'm all about
house.
taking advantage of them.
Because when it comes down to it, I'm paranoid about
get
getting screwed on that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure I do everything right by the book, and then they have no reason to not follow through on the bargain I've made. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Dane,
super fun.
How would you like to convert one of those bathrooms, right, into an actual bathroom, like a Turkish bath style room.
Draining the floor,
So,
tiles on everything.
Draining the floors, right? Tile everywhere, right?
you can just
And
hose
have
it
it
out.
toward
Forgive
things.
me, I'm a little paranoid about drains of floors right now.
No, this would
Well,
be,
we'll
this
put
would
it
be
on
your
the
lowest
bottom.
floor. Your lowest floor. Your
Yeah,
bottom
basement
floor.
floor.
God.
It's a Turkish bath style room, right?
Washer as well.
And we can hire a full-time Turkish bather, right?
Oh,
who
no.
actually lathers you up and
Yeah.
slaps you
Slaps
around,
Oh.
Slaps you
right?
with the eucalyptus.
Then he lays you on a table and pours water over you. And
Do you know if Express Cafe had rooms, Dane would go to there?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hannah Montana tribute.
No.
oh,
Funny enough, that was a little after my time.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
Gee,
but-
we're working on whether or not we're going to have a Detailer's Domain event this year. I got to talk to Phil. So one thing that is happening is if we can't get in with Phil and do an open house there, Swag Rides has graciously offered to host our event there.
Well, Gene knows a thing or two about swag
Yep,
rides
he's
because
been
you
there.
went there with
Yep,
us.
so-
yeah.
So
Oh,
Glenn-
that's where we met the famous
the white
Michael Jordan.
Oh
Yeah.
my
That's where we
God.
met Michael Jordan.
So many memories.
So Swag Rides has said that they would love to host. So it's just
I'm
a matter
sure
of
they would.
building,
It's just-
planning, and getting the team together to figure out if we want to go do that.
I'm
so.
sure they would. It's just I'm thinking, man, we're gonna get in trouble in those train tracks in the back, and if it's rainy, I'm like, gosh,
I do.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Like, I love doing the Detailer's Domain thing, but it would be interesting to have a totally different feel because we'd be in Connecticut then instead of New Jersey. It would be a different vibe. We'd have to find a different place to stay. All that stuff would make it kind of a new adventure.
It would be a
and
new
weird
adventure.
Where did
different.
that place that we
We would
stop
still
at?
go visit Detailer's Domain.
Oh, we'd
still
have to,
visit
absolutely.
Detailed Image. We'd still do all
No,
the
what's the
same stuff.
historical place we stopped at?
Oh, Sleepy Hollow.
No, the other historical place we stopped at.
Oh,
To go to the bathroom.
What?
What?
Yeah, the place we stopped at to go to the bathroom where we had like the wooden guns.
That was
took-
Williamsburg.
Oh,
Colonial
historic
Williamsburg.
My mom
Can
talked
we-
about it. She
That's
was
in
like,
Virginia.
Can we
Yeah.
host it at Colonial Williamsburg?
Colonial
That would be
Williamsburg?
awesome.
weirdly, like, I have
We
like
probably
no
do.
connection to that place, but my mom was like, "Oh yeah, I went on a field trip there once." I was like, "Really?" Because that's the other side of the country from
Yeah,
us. So
I loved it there. I wish
man.
I could have stayed there for the entire
I
day.
wish we could have gone actually into Colonial
that
Williamsburg.
place
Yeah.
was a vibe.
Gee, Dan, it's on front of Michael Jordan and Anthony.
Oh man, too good.
So Dane, continue on.
Anyway, my journey this week has mostly just been hanging out at my folks' house, catching up, having some great
You've been
family
sitting in the
dinners.
hot. Have you guys been partaking in the hot tub
No,
at your parents' house?
no.
Can I get
It's
a hot
it's
tub?
been family dinner, family movie night, those kinds of things,
Wow.
and it's just like I've gone back in time,
Yeah.
except we're all like cooler now, and I
Yeah.
can drink beer with them,
Yeah.
and it's more
And Liz is cool with it. She's
Oh,
cool with it.
Liz is actually cool with it. So
That's good.
she's having a good time. But of course, she's also got her own thing going on occasionally where she has like raid tonight where they go and do their like Final Fantasy stuff. So yeah, that's always fun. But
I don't know what
anyway.
that. I don't know what that is.
Wait, is it at the house?
No. Like it's
She
it's
goes-
all online. I'm not into
Oh.
MMORPGs, but I know anybody who is knows like when it's a raid night, that's where you go for a couple hours and you just have your crew and you all go raid something.
Like
I
when
don't
you
know.
guys play on the internets at
Yeah.
in the evenings.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's just me and Dane like building up really crappy jalopies in Forza Horizon and
Technically,
trying to
that's
climb
a raid.
mountains.
That's our
Yeah.
like, game.
Technically,
It's just
that's a
like
raid.
the two of us, just like, what did you build? I built a worse car than you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So where does she go to do this? Back at the house?
Yeah, because that's where her whole like gaming
Okay.
PC and everything
Alright,
are
so
set
she's
up.
like,
The
I'll go-
downside is there's no bathroom there, so
she
she's
goes
just
out
like,
in the forest.
I'm gonna go there, cross my legs, and then run back to the house when I'm done.
No, I should. Yeah, no.
But
She goes out in
today,
the forest in the back.
the force
oh
back
gosh,
there.
okay, no, but she's babysitting the dogs today, so she's got both pups, Cooper and Callie, over there today, so that's fun.
Sweet.
Anyway,
Heck yeah.
other than that, though, I will say there was a movie I had not seen but I had had it recommended to me for ages. Smaller movie, but like had a lot of big people in it. It was just really fun, and it was such a great movie. It was Chef, the movie Chef with
You've
John
never
Favreau.
seen Chef?
I've
I
never
love
seen
My
Chef.
Chef.
I
cousin's in
love
that
Chef.
movie, Dane.
Dane, Chef is a fantastic
It is a
movie.
fantastic
My
movie.
cousin's one of the guys that walks up and orders tacos.
No, it is
Nice.
not. Are you serious?
I love that.
Wow. So that is what inspired me to start
Dave
my own
Delgado.
food truck, right?
Dave Delgado.
Toni's Wings and Berries
Was
on
because
the
of
road.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was one of those movies where I've been meaning to watch it forever, and I just kept not going and seeking it out. So I finally watched it with my family, where my mom was like, "Well, is there something happy we can watch?" And I was just like, "Well, we can't watch Ted Lasso right now because my brother needs to be here if we're gonna watch Ted Lasso because we're like watching new episodes, and I want to make sure like we're all in on it." So that kind of limits the thing. But I was like, give Chef a shot. Find it on there, and watch it. Super happy.
Dude,
Just
I love that
good
movie.
vibes.
I've seen it probably 15, 20 times. I will say that even Robert Downey Jr. in Chef, I'm still like, why is Iron Man in this movie? Iron Man, you shouldn't be here. But all I know is it inspired me, so apparently...
Well, it came out in 2014, basically all the MCU stuff was happening, and Jon Favreau was a big part of that.
It came out many, many years ago. But I would say, though, that grilled cheese, right?
Oh, my God.
Probably the best
Watching that grilled cheese be made, I was drooling, and I was like, I can't.
Binging with Babish made a video on how to make it.
No, that movie made me want like all the Cubano sandwiches ever.
Yeah. Plantains.
I don't need it, but I want them.
I know. I just like the vibes. The Miami vibes were good there.
That movie's great. So if you haven't seen it and you're looking for something, or like, I just need something to like a little pick me up, like a fun whatever movie that I'll feel good by the end of, check that out.
Oh, and literally like 3 people in the MCU are in that movie, because it's not just
Scarlett Johansson's in
it.
And he's not MCU, but Dustin Hoffman's in it.
They brought everybody in just for fun.
I just love that Scarlett Johansson's in it, because I'm like, good for you, man. Like, 'cause, like in that particular scene, good for you.
Anyway, barring that's been the good part all week. Otherwise, it's just been kind of going with the flow, figuring stuff out. I'm at my folks' house, so I'm just kind of that and dealing with the horror of knowing your house is torn apart. I mean, that's not fun for anybody, especially when you just got that place.
Yeah. Right.
So that's been a super fun experience. I can't wait until it's over. But in the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy time with family and make the most of it and treat it like a little vacation. But I'm staying with my folks, and it's actually good. So thanks, guys. That's really all that's going on over here, though. As for Anthony, what is up?
So Friday night, I was pretty excited. My friend Blake, right, ex-roommate, right? Well, I can't call him ex-roommate. Well, he is an ex-roommate, but he's still my friend. He's still one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So Blake, he's like, hey man, hope it's cool. I got a lightsaber sent to your house today. I'm gonna come pick it up tonight. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I ordered a lightsaber, but I didn't want it shipped to my apartment because I'm afraid it's going to get stolen. So I shipped to the house. I'll be over around 7, right? Katie went over to one of her friends' house to go, hang out with the baby. So I was left to my own devices on a Friday evening, right?
What are a couple bros going to do with a lightsaber?
So Blake rolls over, and it was funny because I had I don't even know what the heck I did. I think I had washed the car, or I did something. I can't remember what did I do that night? I think that was Friday night. Let me double check. I take pictures of the weekend, guys, because that's how fast these nights
It's how he remembers what he did.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what the heck I did. But anyways, he comes over. We unboxed this thing. So this lightsaber was like a $360-something lightsaber. He ordered it from
Okay, this is not one of these.
It's like a crimson something. I don't know what it is.
A lot of money on a lightsaber.
Wait, it's called a crimson something. It's blue.
No, that's just the brand. It's called Crimson something. But anyway, so it's a full-on metal, right, anodized lightsaber, right, with a single button with a gyro in it that basically allows you to go through the menu, right? It's like a full-on crazy system. Multiple different colors, right? Different type of pulsating effects, different types of effects where you would be deflecting things, lots of different sounds, right? Apparently, lightsabers make different sounds.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
The kyber crystal inside is what gives a lightsaber its sound and color. Is
that in the lore?
How you build your...
Is that in the lore?
Yeah, so Kylo Ren uses a fractured kyber crystal.
Hence
That's
his
why
spazzy-looking
his is so
saber.
spazzy and weird-looking.
Really?
He fractured it so that it would shoot out the sides, too.
I didn't know how that worked.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so so his has multiple different colors. You can change the sound, change all the different features of it. And so we put this thing together. I was mind blown by how crazy this thing actually is, right? Because when he first started up for the first time, we thought it was defective because it had like a whole warm up function, right? Where it basically started shooting, like flickering. We're like, yeah, it's like heating up, and we're like, what's going on, right? Because it was like blue, but shooting out a tip of like red flame out of the top,
that's sick.
and then the whole thing just lights up with like a massive sound effect. And we were both looking at each other like, "Oh my god!" Right? Like this is amazing. Oh my, so there's a picture of probably the brand, but I was just so stoked on it.
There's
so we
a whole
went
TikTok on those lightsabers, like and it shows like the $10 one, like a $50 one, like a $300 one, and then they make these like $1,000 ones. that do this, but it's pretty cool.
Some guy recently set a world record for
sequence. It's pretty rad
lightsaber thing. I thought I saw that recently.
So,
anyway.
But anyway, you got a good one. That's nice.
So it's two pieces. It's like the hilt, and then it's actual blade, and then it goes in with set screws. Is what you do. But it was just funny because we put it together, started going through all the different functions and features, and it just kept getting cooler the more stuff we figured out how to do. Right? It's like, I don't even know how. It's so crazy customizable. But there's only one button on it.
Yeah.
But there's all these different ways to turn it to select things. So we found that like there's like this certain blue color that looked really cool, and it had like this pulsating effect that was like a raised, like, I don't know how to describe it, like a very energy field effect and sound. And so then we went to the backyard and started swinging this thing around.
Yeah,
right?
It was like 16 degrees. I checked because I was watching your videos you were sending, and I checked the Boise weather. I'm like, they're outside in 16-degree weather playing with a lightsaber. That's amazing. I'd be out there too.
So it was pretty awesome. And so Blake's like, dude, you should totally get one. And I'm thinking to myself, would Katie let me get
probably not
a $300 and something lightsaber? Because like the idea of it is cool, but then you think like, when am I really gonna like, am I gonna turn this thing on and go into the backyard and swing it around all the time?
Do your practice, your sword
Your
skills.
neighbors will love you.
Like because my biggest fear is when we went to the garage, right? I'm like, hey, how tight are those set screws? Because imagine that you're flinging this thing around, blade flies off, goes straight to a car. Yeah. So I love the idea of it, and it is so bright that you pull out that lightsaber, it lights up an entire room.
So for my birthday, February 24th, make sure you send your Crimson Dawn lightsabers to me at the Rag Company.
Augie would
Levi
destroy
Gates,
that so fast.
Send him a whole bunch of cheap ones.
Or West State Street, Boise, Idaho, 837.
Those old collapsible ones from the early 90s, right? Just like, chuk, 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 chuk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just,
no, this thing's like, dude, it is next level, and I've never been so intrigued by something.
Yes, Jay. And a half.
So I don't know. Anyway, that was a fun night. And then so Saturday, right, I promised Katie that I would help her go pick up a fridge for one of her dad's rental properties, right? This is where I need to stop. I need to slow down in life and like ask more questions and not be so agreeable, right?
Not be so helpful. Got it.
Because of course I'm gonna go help her do this, right? It's just I need to get more information before I do it. So she had asked me out this days prior. I had asked Jimmy to say, hey man, I have no other friends that can help me move this fridge. I've asked everybody, right?
Pro tip, I have a stretched muscle right now. The doctor said I shouldn't be lifting anything. I was out of town. And you were out of town.
Yeah, and so all my other friends I asked, everybody bailed on me. So I said, hey, Jimmy, I really need some help. I wouldn't normally ask you. He's like, hey, man, I got you, right? And then come Friday night, he actually messaged me at 9 and says, hey, man, I'm just not feeling good. I probably can't help you.
Cool, Jimmy,
so then at like 10 o'clock on Saturday, I'm like, okay, so I have to move this fridge by myself. Right. Drive to this guy's house. He's in the middle of a remodel. It's a used fridge, but it's a huge stainless steel double door fridge, right? Some Samsung fridge.
Yeah. Well, hold up. Is this guy able to help you, maybe?
So the guy that was renovating this house, right? It was his old fridge, right? Yeah. He's like, hey, man, I do have a dolly with a whole strap. I can get this thing out. But in terms of like,
Thanks,
but in terms of like what you're going to do after you get in the truck, that's all you. And I said, that's fine. Let's just get into the truck. So I'm seeing him strap this fridge down onto this dolly, and I'm just like, good God, how heavy is this thing? Because it looks incredible. Because it's big, guys. I'm talking like it was 36 it was 36 wide on one side and then like 42 on the other.
Yeah, wide,
right?
big fridge.
Sounds
So
about
this
right.
is like massive.
So probably like 68, 70 inches tall, something like that. I would
It
guess.
was my height. I mean, it was
Okay.
6 foot tall, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I just couldn't believe how tall how
like
big this fridge was.
72.
So he brings it out. Me and him, he's like, hey, dude, so what do you want to do? Like, it's just two of us. We can't get this thing in and stand it up without, like, we need some type of, like, ramp system or something, right? Because we can't pick it up. And if we slide it on its side, it's going to get all scuffed up.
You didn't bring any like moving blankets.
No, and I didn't bring any moving. I only had, like, one small blanket.
You
and
have any
so,
cardboard maybe? Something to...
well, that's when I'm like, hey, can you put a fridge on its side? He's like, you probably shouldn't. But I said, I don't have any other option. So laid a blanket down, got it underneath it. Me and him, both, all of our strength, get that thing up and into the back. And
That's when you realized you were in trouble.
well, and that's when
How
I
did
realized.
I get here, you might ask. Well, let me tell you about
It
it.
was at this moment he
Well,
knew.
and then so what I found out is that a fridge can't lay on its side, but it has to be upright
Right.
for however
For like
long it's
24
been
hours.
on its side.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while it's in transport.
Yeah.
So
Before you plug it in.
yeah, but had to take off the guy's front door, right, to get the fridge out, right. So
Awesome.
it was
So
one of those front.
mental note, I may have to take out the front door at the other house.
Front,
That is a
so-
common thing,
No,
though, yeah.
but the new house, the other house I'm going to, this was a new home.
Yeah.
I'm going to a home built in the 1950s.
Oh, that
right?
doorway is definitely skinny.
And so I'm stressed. I'm driving to this new place thinking, what's my plan? I know there's some college kids there that might be able to help me with the fridge, but like this is gonna be a nightmare. So we finally get to I get to the house. I go and get the kids. They come out in like shorts and like a t-shirt. They're like,
Yeah.
hey man, it's like 16 degrees.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, hey man, whew,
For the first time
it's
in your
pretty-
life, you feel like an adult.
it's pretty cold out here. And I said, yeah, guys. And I'm like, I don't know. Just saying, you might want to throw on like a jacket or something. It might
Maybe
be a
not
minute.
wear flip flops.
Right, and not wear
Yeah.
flip
Smash our
flops.
This
toes.
falls on your toes. You're not going to have toes
And like
anymore.
the bro's in a beanie. He's like, "No, dude, I'm good, man. I got this." I'm like, whatever.
They're always
And
trying to prove something.
So we actually end up getting it out of the back of the truck, and from there, it took all three of us, and we rolled it, right? Because it's
Yeah,
on the
it's got
rollers. We
wheels.
probably destroyed them,
Yeah.
but we were able to roll it at least to the door, the entryway it needed to go into. But at that point, we looked at it. We said, "Yeah, this isn't possible. It's not possible to get the fridge into through the doorway."
So you left it and just went home.
No, so took out the old fridge, right? Because the other fridge broke apparently. Took that out, walked that to the street. New fridge. I said, guys, there's only one way this is gonna be possible. And they're like, well, what's that? I'm like,
Through the
have
window.
you ever seen somebody disassemble a fridge completely? And they're like, no.
Taking
I'm like,
the doors
well,
off.
here we go, right? You get to witness it and see if I do it right or wrong. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
So I took that fridge completely apart, right? All the doors came off. I had to remove the wiring harness because the wiring harness was not easily built into the door for removal. So I had to chase that down. So remove the wiring harness, the kick plate, all four mounts and brackets off of everything, which is like, I think I was on into this like 20 bolts, right? At this point. So removed everything.
Make sure you keep track of them all.
And even with everything removed, we had to ram the fridge through the doorway.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Ram it. Like there was no way it was gonna fit. So we made it work though.
You document all this and let Katie know the next time she finds a
Dude.
fridge
So
that
hold
it has
up.
to be less
If
than
it
this.
wouldn't fit through at low speed, what made you think it's going to fit through at high speed without horribly damaging like?
Oh
trim or
no,
something?
we dinged up the wood frame around
But it
the
didn't
door.
like get knocked off or torn.
It didn't get
or
knocked off. Like there was
splintered or-
nothing major damage, but I mean we pulled paint off for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
But it's either that. What's my other plan?
Right.
Get a smaller
That's
fridge.
it. I mean it's all.
Get a smaller fridge.
Well, I know, but dude, we were so cold, and you know when your hands and you don't have function of your hands
Yeah.
when it's that cold, and you're trying to undo bolts. I'm trying to undo this clip,
Oh, that is
like
a
these plastic
horrible
clips on this
feeling.
harness, and I'm like not making any progress.
No,
it
it
was
sucks.
it was rough. So
Now imagine the horror if that fridge goes out and the people there have to try and move it out. That's
dude,
just
I just love it
bad
because
Gee,
time.
Davis, what other tasteful mods will you do to the fridge? Coilovers, enhanced egg tray.
a car's complete front end. Try blowing apart. What's it say?
He's saying you think that's nothing. Try blowing apart a car's complete front end. Taking it
Wow.
apart.
Imagine what a cold air intake could do on a fridge.
Anyway, so it was, how do I say this? It wasn't difficult. It was just more time consuming than what I signed up for. And the help that I had was not like the ideal, hey, they knew what to do.
Yeah, they just stood there and watched.
I was like, hey, hand me a 10 millimeter, right?
What's that?
And they're
What's that?
like, here's a crescent wrench, right? Oh, here's a, what's it called?
Slip wrench?
Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, here's a pair of dikes, or here's whatever it is. I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, that's not what I want, but we're gonna make it work. So, but it was really, it was really funny.
Called Katie's dad and said the fridge is here.
After this fridge,
It's all you now.
So it's funny because after the fridge got in, dude, these guys were so jacked up. They were so pumped. Like, it was like a huge success that all three of us got this thing through, right? Which sounds hilarious, but it just was. And so these guys were like, I'm like, what are you guys most excited about? They're like, dude, the water, water on the fridge door, right?
Yes.
Being able to fill up water on the fridge. And I'm like, is it because the girls love that? And they look at me and they go, how did you know? I'm like, dude, chicks dig the water on the fridge, man. They love that. And the ice maker, it's like the biggest thing. And the guy's like, dude, he's like, chicks love this, dude. Like, they love it. And it was just funny. It was like a whole, like, bro situation. And I was like, well, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get Chick-fil-A and go back to my family. So it was pretty funny.
You're done being made to feel older than you are.
So I ended up doing that. And then after that, later that day, look back through my photos here. Yes, that's what I ended up doing. So I went over, I washed give the Civic rinseless wash, first wash in 2 months, just using some delicious O&R, and then topped it with some paint gloss. My garage was very cold that day, but everything looked good. Everything worked out great. My coating is holding up fantastic.
Nice.
And I think the last topper I put on it before winter was Optimum Hyper Seal, and Hyper Seal definitely has kept that paint looking pretty good through the wintertime. So rinseless wash on that. Then after that, went and took some pictures over at Eagle Island, right? State Park. Love it over there.
Of the car or just of yourself? Or
So a combination of both. But I just like Eagle Island, man. It's got good vibes out there, right? They got like you have to take the kids out there. There's a bunny hill they can slide down. Cost $7 to get in.
Yeah.
And it's all wooded. It's nice. So
it's cool.
Took some pictures there. And then on my way home, I went and stopped by Jason's place, right? Because he got his Evo back, right?
Yeah.
He missed it so much, he bought it back.
He made a huge mistake last year, and he sold his Evo. Then he bought a C7 Corvette.
Yeah, a Z06.
Right? Which I don't think the Corvette was necessarily a mistake, right? It's a cool car, but getting rid of the Evo is probably, you just don't get rid of an Evo.
They're very different experiences, despite both being like powerful cars.
Everybody that I've ever known that's gotten rid of one of those cars has always bought one back because they regretted it. So he did the same thing, except he wanted his back, right? So after a year,
just anyone,
he bought his car back, and so he got it shipped over, and he wanted me to come take a look at it, see how the paint was, and see if we need to repolish it and all sorts of stuff. And so last thing that was coated in was CSU, and it is pretty marred.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's probably not much CSU left on his front.
Well,
what do you think?
Yeah. His stuff's just super marred up, and so I'll have to polish it and probably recoat it, but I figured that would happen. And then after that, I think I called it a night that night, nothing too crazy. And then on Sunday, I slept in, and then went and did some more driving in the Civic. Right, I just went cruising. It just felt good to get in there and just go for a cruise, right?
The Civic, the red Civic, not the CRC.
Yeah, the Civic, and just go for a cruise. The thing is, we have sunlight, right? We're having a lot more sun nowadays.
But it's still cold.
Still
well, the inversion
freezing.
was gone before we left, which was nice. So you could see the sky. It wasn't gray, so it's been really pretty. Yesterday, I went to I took Augie after school.
Yeah.
So we dropped Hadley off at therapy, and then I took Augie to the little convenience store, the Ranch Market, right there in Harris Ranch, to grab some sodas, grab a couple snacks.
Yeah.
So while I was there, I was on the phone with Gabe. But the drive, beautiful. Foothills all covered in snow. You can see this
Love
blue
that.
sky behind it. I mean, it's just such a pretty expanse
Yeah.
in Harris Ranch. So, yeah, it's perfect. Perfect for that picturing and doing all that stuff.
I agree 100%. I am very antsy, though, because I really want to ride my motorcycle because I need to start breaking it in, that new motor, because
You don't want it to leak again.
I just don't want it to leak again. And I feel like I need to start doing something. I just can't.
Well, can you not just ride it around casually without beating on it in the cold a little bit? Just to get a little...
Dane, it's just so cold.
really
Like,
cold.
it's like your neck. Everything freezes so...
I mean, I've been outside, too. I
But
know
you're not
how
riding
cold it's been.
Dane, go ride your bicycle.
Yeah, no,
outside.
I understand. On
Now
an
get on a
open,
motorcycle
open
and go
air
4 times
experience.
faster.
It's a little different. But I say this
anyways.
as the guy who drove the Miata with the top down in the winter. So
Yeah,
So, closing out my weekend, right?
It is basically
all
the
around
same
No,
thing.
but it's all around the body.
Yeah. So
I
closing out
had
my
all around the
weekend,
bottom. The windows were down too.
I did notice that Matt posted that he got in the G-Technic bike kit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which really I want to ask you guys, do you have any interest in Rag Company selling bike products?
I do.
You
I
do.
do.
So you have bikes?
I have lots of bicycles.
You do.
So I don't have one bicycle.
I know.
I don't own a bicycle.
Yeah, I think you
But
need to get one.
I figured, right, if I were to go and build a bike, right, maybe that would interest me in protecting it.
I think that's a good idea. It's something that not only myself, but Nate, Next Day Nate here at the Rag Company, also bicycle enthusiast, builder extraordinaire. I think we could really get into teaching you the ways of the bicycle, how much fun it is to have. You know, we could get the G-Technic kit in and then start using it on the tandem, and then you guys could take that out, go cruise around, have some fun on it. I think that'd be a great time.
So I just think that bikes. So I was actually. So here's the
But
funny
you've
thing.
ridden mine.
So okay.
You've played around on my
You
bike.
know, but Levi, I have to explain something very specifically. I know I don't want to get too far into this tangent because we have to end this show soon. But I will say that I think bikes are too expensive and they're overpriced, and it doesn't make any freaking sense on why bikes can be so expensive. Now, right, correct. I understand that craftsmanship is a big thing. I understand that materials are a big thing, right? But I found out that there are several other people in the world on Reddit that also ask why bikes are so expensive.
Like, I
especially
get
getting
that
into a
carbon
good
fiber bike is really expensive, but why is the aluminum
the
one
fact
so
that like a good entry level solid built bike from a good brand, a reputable brand,
About
right, like
$600
Specialized or Giant or whatever it is, can be anywhere from $600 to $800, right? But then getting into more of their mid range, right? You're into the $2,000 range, easy, right? But then getting into like the above average, you're at $6,000-$7,000.
My brain just goes, that's a car.
No, and then
up
into
to $10,000.
$13,000 for the highest end bike
So
you can
Dane,
get.
across the street from your new house, Bauer House Bikes.
Yeah, that place looks dope.
100%. So that's my buddy Jason Bauer that owns that.
Yeah.
He built Kristen Armstrong's bike.
Cool.
That's all he does. Custom builds.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
I love the look of the shop.
You walk into that shop, you want to have him make a bike for you, he'll say, "Sure, Dane, how much are you planning on spending? Because I don't start building under $4,000."
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So
believe
He'll
it.
build it completely 100%,
Just
everything you want. He'll be like,
just
"Here's some
looking at the
frame
place.
options, here's some wheel options, here's some tires, here's some gearing."
Why is a bike $13,000? A bike that you have to actually pedal yourself, right?
Yeah.
It is a piece of exercise equipment for $13,000 that can literally
it's-
get picked up, walked away with, and thrown
made
into
out
a
of
river,
carbon fiber.
right? It's made of, you know how much carbon fiber costs? It's cheap. Carbon fiber is literally cheap.
No,
okay?
I mean everything.
It is the
It'll be
time to
everything.
mold it that's
It'll
expensive.
be wheels, it'll be cranks, it'll be frame, it'll be seat post, it'll
Carbon
be
fiber
stem, it'll
used
be
to be very
handlebars.
expensive in the 90s before they really honed down
No,
the
the
techniques
sheets
of how to
of
do
carbon
it.
fiber are cheap
But
now.
nowadays, you can find carbon
Yes.
fiber in a Prius.
Yes.
For weight
So
savings.
What I don't understand is that $13,000, right? That can buy you 3 motorcycles
Oh,
with big
yeah, totally.
engines,
No.
with amazing tires, with amazing
Yeah.
suspension, with like everything you could want, or a bike that you have to pedal yourself.
Well, most of them do have,
For a
at
good
that
time.
price range, you do have electric assist on top of that.
Dude, that
So-
bike better be massaging me after I'm done riding
No,
it for
doesn't do
that price.
It doesn't do that.
I
Thrown
just
into a river. Yeah, I heard you say that.
like I don't understand how a bike can be that
Yeah.
expensive.
That's
It
the
just,
other thing. I follow a dude
Damn,
that's all he
Grant.
does on TikTok is he restores old GTs and stuff and old BMX
man.
bikes. it's my childhood all over again.
See, I
That's
just
what
grew
it
up
is.
with like
Fine
Huffy
music.
and Mongoose,
It's
and that
insane.
was
You have to ride
all
the
we
bike.
knew.
You have to
Yeah.
pedal this.
Yeah.
And it's not even a vehicle. If this is
Yeah.
literally a recreational
Our bikes as a family,
form of
like in the 90s and
transport
2000s,
at
were like those $200 Costco specials.
Yeah.
And
No,
that
so
was my
there's
experience
there's
with
a
bikes.
level of
And then I was
abuse.
introduced to the world of bikes beyond that, and I just
Yeah.
thought, oh my God, this
So-
makes motorcycles look cheap.
Yeah, so I've always
On the
been into
used market,
bikes
anyway.
ever since I was a little kid. My first bike, a Huffy Sigma, had the discs, very sweet.
Yeah.
Then bought my first bike was a Motive. I bought that at Costco for like $250.
Sure.
good deal.
I used
we had a
that
couple
bike
of those.
for most of my high school career. My dad bumped up to a Cannondale and built himself a really nice Cannondale. I used that in some of the races and
Now
stuff.
my
that
brain
I did.
immediately goes, Cannondale, nice bike.
Yeah. So, but I always had something. I always had built something. I had a GT Zascar. I had, which is still one of the bikes that I wish I had back. My newest bike, my Salsa Timberjack, 650B plus, 27.5 plus is what also known, is very much similar in geometry, frame geometry, and rides about the same as my Zascar.
Okay.
When I worked at George's for a number of years, almost 6-7 years, that was when Nate and I met. Was we were mechanics on the weekends for George's Cycles, building
Yeah.
bicycles, doing tune-ups. So we got to ride a lot of different stuff. I got to play around with a lot of different styles. I bought a lot of bikes then, had a lot of bikes. I even custom built one that I bought called a Santa Cruz Chameleon hardtail. 100% did it one piece at a time, built a great bike. Sold it for, I think I sold it for like $2,200 when I was done with it. I only had about $500 into it when I built it, utilizing my discounts. But anyway, it's bikes have always been that for me. So the point with the higher price bikes, it's usually the technology, whether or not it's capable of handling the rigors of racing. So if you become a guy where you're mountain biking on the weekends and you go every weekend, a $700-800 bike will last and suit you.
Yeah.
If you go every day,
It's a different kind of
you're going to
riding.
break those parts.
Yeah.
You're going to have more part failures on the bike. So
Sure.
you go up to a more expensive bike because it brings in another different level of group.
I get
the
that.
Grupo, so to speak.
So I get that, but the first
that's
bike
the
was
difference in the pricing.
first bike was developed in 1817.
The penny farthing.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me in literally 200 years. Wait. No. We're in how many years is that ago? That's
1970, 1870.
no, 1917. That's 200 years, right? That's the math. That's
Almost,
200 years, right? So in 200 years, right? You're telling me there's been so much technology improvement in a pedal bicycle to justify a $13,000 price tag?
You can only do so much
So-
before you wind up putting
It's
a
a
motor on it,
bicycle,
and then
that's
it
what I'm
becomes a
saying.
So our friend
motorcycle.
Like-
Brad just bought a brand new
buy a
$8,000
Ducati.
Specialized
I could buy a
with an
Ducati
e-assist
Panigale
downhill.
for $13,000.
Yeah, sold it. Well, didn't sell it. Had some flat tires, didn't ride it.
Yeah.
Then bought himself a new one. That was $10,000.
Yeah.
I
It
called
takes
him
a
and said, I texted
special
him and
kind of
said,
person.
"What'd you do with your old one? I'll take it because
Yeah.
the bike's like 2 years old."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, my son and his friends ride it around." And I said, "When they're done with that, you bring it over here to my house. I'll give it a good home."
And how much fun can you have $13,000 worth of fun on a bicycle?
Oh, I think you could on a 13. So Nate and I rented.
I don't think you
Nate
can.
and I rented some Santa Cruz V10s, $7,500 price tag.
Grant
Yeah.
sent me
Nice,
this.
yeah. $7,500 price tag. Nate and I rented two V10s
Yeah.
at Tamarack, 10 inches at front and rear travel. Enjoyed the ever-living snot out of them. And at the end of the day, I broke my leg and ankle. But
What? That doesn't sound fun at
some
all.
of the most fun, I had $7,500 worth of fun
What?
because I had
But
to pay
then you had
the
$7,500
doctor.
worth of medical bills.
Yeah, it was medical bills afterwards, but it sure was fun. Tell you what, had a great day with them. So Yeah, I see those, Grant. Those are dope.
It was
So,
basically like that,
okay.
and then he fixed
But
it up.
going to what I'm saying, though, I will eventually be buying a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Mainly for the fact that my daughter's going to learn how to ride a bike. I want to be able to ride with her because I don't own a bicycle
That's what I did this
right
weekend.
now.
Kids
Right?
went out on their bikes. I rode them.
So I need to eventually buy a bicycle or build a bicycle. I've been doing some research on it. It seems like I could probably get into something probably for what I need around $600, right? Maybe $700, right? If something nice, right?
Yeah. That'll last.
But like that's the thing. I think what I need to do. I think I need to ride like a $6,000 bike, right?
Okay.
Like
To
around
see
the
if
block.
you can feel a difference.
And I want to have a $6,000 bike and I want to have a $600
There's
bike.
a bike shop across the street.
And then what I want to do
because I'm
is
interested in e-bikes.
I want to I want to genuinely come up with my own opinion of, hey, does this feel like $6,000? Does this feel like 4 Honda Civics?
All right. Yeah. Is it worth
If it doesn't feel like 4 Honda Civics, then I don't want it.
But Anthony, I don't have a 6,000. I have when I paid for this bike, I bought it for $900.
Yeah.
It was new with a discount, with the friendly homie hookup.
You got a
of
great
friends.
deal on that salsa, though.
I got a great deal on it. It was retailing for $1,200.
Yeah.
Now though, that same build
It's like
is
$1,500.
$1,800.
Yeah.
So
It's insane.
it's hard to get into what I have now for what I got.
I know.
when
I need
bought it.
to call up our buddy and I need to see if he can say, hey, find me something that costs.
Well,
Steve can also build you those e-bikes, like the Rad bikes. He's a distributor of the Rad bikes.
I don't want
Dane, so he can set up something with you.
Basically, that's what hard problem I'm having. I don't want anything electric because then I'm definitely just not going to pedal that thing, right? Then I'm really not going to get any form of exercise, right?
Correct, yeah.
But at the same time, like I need it to be good enough to have fun in its most crude form, being that it is a freaking bicycle that you have to pedal, right? And still have enough fun to, separate that from jumping on an actual motorcycle with a motor and engine that is 16,000 times more fun,
right?
And is much more faster and enjoyable in pretty much every single way possible, right? Because when it comes to suspension, would you rather have a suspension on a motorcycle or suspension on a bicycle? I'd rather have it on a motorcycle. It's going to do way more, right? Higher speeds. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I just think that bikes are stupid after just looking into the prices. But it all got started because the G-Technic bike kit.
Well, and then Matt
I was
bought
thinking,
the $13,000 bike.
Who did?
Yoshi says Matt did. You should ride Matt's $13,000.
Matt's bike is $13,000.
Yeah, it's the same bike that Brad bought.
Why?
It probably has
and with the reality, perhaps a rickshaw.
It has e-assist on it.
It has what?
It has the electric motor on it.
Yeah, but why wouldn't Matt go out and buy a BMW S1000 RR or like
they ride motorcycles?
Why wouldn't you ride motorcycles? They're way more fun than a bicycle.
I don't know. That's the beauty of it.
Substantially more fun.
different strokes for different
I
folks.
just wanted to point out that the bikes, just like cars, just like many other objects, when there's a market for it, you have that threshold where there's the affordable stuff, the mainstream affordable stuff. There's the mainstream pricey stuff that's still in a range that people could save up a little. It's still like middle class friendly. And then you get to the high end, but it's like still the attainable high end. And then you have the stratospheric insano end where it's like hypercars and stuff where no, that car, if you were to just lay all the parts out and itemize them and price them out, it would not be worth what they're asking for it. But it's because of the rarity associated with it, the heritage of the racing, behind the company that made it, or any other number of things. They can argue that there's a price for that, and it's whatever someone's willing to pay. And then also, there's a handful of people out there with stupid enough money and stupid enough, ability to spend on something like that, where it's just like, yeah, I'll do that. And then everybody else just looks and goes, that's ridiculous. And then they treat it like they're all that expensive. But there are plenty of options that aren't that insane, that are still in the realm of normalcy. So, that's all I'm saying is it's not unique to bikes. It's cars, it's trucks.
It's everything, but I think it's literally like saying, what's the difference? Okay, so hold on, really quick, right? If I went out and bought a $13,000 push scooter, would you guys think I'm crazy?
Yeah, but if you were a scooter enthusiast and you love doing stuff like that, you rode your scooter everywhere. I'd understand.
You really gotta love.
That's it. But that's.
You gotta love that.
But
But
guess
is it?
that's how
But
I'm
this
looking
right
at it.
here, this makes sense. So, what Grant's saying?
Yeah.
So that same person, Bauer House Bikes. When we first had our children 10 years ago,
Yeah.
because his son and my daughter are the same age, we went over to their house for their first birthday or whatever, for their son's first birthday. His name's Axel. So we go over. He's telling me, man, he's got an 83 Legacy Subaru wagon or Loyal, just like a red old rectangular Subaru that he's been driving. He had just had to put a new engine in it. And he's like, man, I sure wish I could buy like a new Forester, or even like a 2-year-old Forester XT turbo. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I was like, well, they're like $14,000. They're not that bad. It's $200 a month car payment. That's not that big of a deal. Then he goes, oh, you want to see my little garage? He had a 1-car garage that he turned into his own little bike shop. I walk in there. He has probably 15 bikes hanging on the wall, each one worth about 10 grand a piece. I said, you could sell 3 bikes and go buy a brand new Subaru Forester XT. 3 bikes.
Was he like hoarding them, or was he a collector?
He's a collector. He rides different bikes. But that's what I'm saying. You walk into he's driving this POS bright red Subaru that was going to die at any time.
It was like a high school kid's car kind of
right.
thing.
And he was like 43, 44 at the time.
And you know what? If that works for him,
but it was one of those where I was like, you can't tell me that you don't want, you walk in and you go, where are your priorities at on this?
But clearly, now that you've seen, you're like, oh, I see where the disconnect
You
is
always
now.
had the money to buy a new car, but your
You just
priorities
chose not
are
to.
you're building these cool bikes that you like riding, that you like enjoying.
It's like
it becomes
anything,
a different thing.
It's a frame of mind. It's
Right.
just, like you said, where your priorities are at. You could do it. You just choose not to, and you direct it somewhere else.
Yep. So, but kudos to him. He had a great business downtown. It originally was called G-Fit. Then when he bought the company, he called it Bauer House Bikes, and then he bought that old sewing upholstery shop there on Hill Road right across from your new house, and built his business, moved his business into there. And he lives right around the corner, just down about a block and a half over by my dad's house.
Yeah,
So-
I always drive by and I look and I'm like, that looks cool. It doesn't look super busy, but then again, knowing what he does, I wouldn't expect it to look busy
it's
because
full
that's not the
custom
kind of
builds.
place where casuals and normies just walk in.
But he has
"I'll buy a bike."
racers. He's like Tyler Senarusa.
Yeah.
He has professional cyclists call him up and say, I want you to build me this. And he's like, all right.
But I like the building and it looks super dope.
Yeah.
But when you're driving by, you're just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I just
we should go. We could call him and see
Yeah.
and go, hey, you got any bikes to ride? My buddy Anthony wants to see what the difference is on an old bike, and we go over there and ride bikes.
But what if he says,
let
what if he
us.
says, what do you think? And then I'm brutally honest with him. I say, yeah, man, I don't think this is worth like $4,000.
Right. Well, I'm going to say you're not a buyer. You just want to see what
I
it's
just
like.
wanna
Well,
see-
he would say your butt's not tuned for it then. at
Yeah, my
that
butt's
point.
not tuned
Yeah.
for it, right?
Yeah, you gotta build your-
I'd say
you gotta
I don't
build
have
your callus.
the gooch muscle built
Yeah,
up, right,
gooch-
to be able to
gooch
withstand this. So Matt says he's had a CBR 600, maybe 750. So it'd be if it was a CBR, it would have been it'd be a 600.
Yeah.
Or 750, something similar back in the day. But he said he was 200 miles to ride it safely.
I can see that.
Maybe back in the day. I mean, but I don't
Nowadays,
know.
though, he probably
Some people are meant to have motorcycles. Some people aren't, right?
Yeah.
You know, because it is a responsibility thing. But and then Dino says Anthony doesn't know what it's like to go 30, 40 miles an hour on a normal bike. So I used to do downhill longboarding, right? Where I take a longboard and I'd go like
That's
bomb
scary.
a
That's
hill,
scary.
right?
On
Which
wheels over asphalt, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I would do skiing and I wouldn't worry about it all day, but on asphalt,
on asphalt.
forget that.
So I did some downhill longboarding, right? I used to do this with my friends all the time, right?
Sure.
And you're going about this speed on a longboard. It is pretty terrifying because when you fall, you pretty much die.
you have less control than a bike at that point.
But the thing, I see people, you know, when I'm on Bogus Basin
Yeah.
and I'm flying on a motorcycle, I see guys on road bikes also going
Totally.
30, 40 miles an hour flying down Bogus Basin Road.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are going really, really quick.
You have a lot
right?
of trust in that frame.
Their
and those
tires are no wider than 2 inches.
And the hubs, too.
I was going
And-
to say, 2 inches. Some of
gotta
them are
remember-
like
you also gotta remember
an
those
inch and a
bearings in
half.
those hubs, too,
Yeah,
are
they're
built
on
for
like
that.
nothing in terms of
Yeah.
tires. So
We took a Huffy or something up there we'd probably lose the.
You kiss your butt goodbye. You're going off a cliff, son.
And these guys, seriously, man, they're wearing a helmet. They're wearing spandex.
Yeah.
They're wearing shorts, like their knees are
Yeah.
completely exposed, and they only have gloves on. If you fall, I would argue to say that is definitely more dangerous than a motorcycle. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
No, it's true.
Motorcycle, you got a lot
This
more
is
protective
more
gear
dangerous
on.
than riding a
Jeans, boots,
motorcycle.
leather. They're
And
not wearing a big
but
helmet.
like when you eat it on a $13,000 bicycle, that bike's got to be getting pretty jacked up.
Oh, it gets destroyed.
It gets destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to get insurance for the bicycle?
That's that. Some people do, some people
At
don't.
that price, I feel like you might want to.
But
I don't know,
rather-
guys. Do you understand my
It's a
point?
different
weighing
world.
out
No,
the
it's,
fun.
it's not like a car.
It's
No.
just
It's or a bike.
It's,
It's not like that.
it's something.
at
This
all.
is just so
So-
different than.
It's
than
very
I guess.
foreign to you. I get it.
It's very foreign to me. I would like to be educated on it, but I think the only way I'd feel I'm actually getting educated on it is by literally like sitting down, doing it, and then being like, okay, I get it, and I can say I get it, or be honest and say no, this I kind of understand a little bit better, but it's still not for me.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to be into this. I just cannot justify it in any
Yeah.
way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah. No, I get it.
So
That's still
all.
pretty fast,
Totally
Dino.
good.
Isn't that about 45 to 50 miles an hour?
Pretty good.
Thereabouts?
All right.
All right,
Well,
so-
there you go, everybody. As always, Dane, what about
We
these
didn't
towels?
once talk about Anthony's NFTs, which was the whole reason I titled this episode Tales from
Oh
the
yeah.
Crypto, But
So and then
anyway,
Sunday night I started making NFTs with taking really crude pictures around my house.
they were horrible.
and
I
then,
don't recommend
and then
them to anybody.
cartoonifying them,
Yeah.
and then telling people I'm going to sell them for $15,000.
I like that.
Nobody
Yeah.
should
I thought it was
ever
great.
buy
Let's
those.
see if
Also,
Anthony
NFTs are
gets rich.
horrifically wasteful, and I think it's a bad idea.
NFTs are a joke. But anyway, so anyways, guys, we're gonna roll this Eagle Edges video one more time before we end today's video. We got
Only on
Alex Duar
Amazon.
says someone needs to record Anthony writing in his lederhosen. Yeah,
think
that's
it's
about
easy.
all you'll
We can
get.
do that.
So
Wonderful.
Dane, any final messages before we break away to this video? one
No,
more
that
time?
was pretty much it. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, we love having you here every week. You never quite know how it's going to go. This turned into a very interesting conversation about expensive bicycles. So, hey, who knows what the next week holds? But I will say, later this week, we do have Dave coming in for Q&A Thursday over on the main Rag Company channel. I highly recommend you go there if you've ever wondered about chemistry from the detailing perspective. It's very interesting. Highly recommend. Ask Dave yourself the things you've always wondered but didn't know who to ask. That's the time to do it. All right, guys. Till next time, this is us saying Eagle Edgeless 450. Check it out.
Hey guys, Anthony with the Rag Company, and in today's video, we're talking about something new and exclusive for Amazon.com, and that is the Eagle Edgeless 6-pack in this new, beautiful teal color. Now, not only did we make this color exclusive, but we also altered the GSM, the grams per square meter, the weight, the density of the towel to 450 GSM. Now, what does that mean exactly? It means that this towel is the perfect combination of plush and pliable. Now, for reference, we have 3 other popular Eagle Edgeless: the Eagle Edgeless 350, the 500, the 600, and then this one right here at about 450. So we find that the 350 and 500 are some of our best sellers. So we thought, why not meet it in the middle, offer something right in between with a new cool color for all of our friends here at Amazon.com. So what would you use this towel for? Well, it's a 70-30 blend, meaning it's ultra soft, ultra safe. So you can use this for all exterior detailing needs, whether it's quick detailing, waterless wash, rinseless wash, removing light polish, light wax, sealants, and so on. This is ultimately going to be one of our safest and softest towels. The Eagle Edgeless fibers are second to none and are seriously one of the softest towels available on today's market. So what about outside of detailing? Can this towel serve any other purpose? Absolutely. If you have anything with a very delicate surface, such as something like a guitar or a piano or any type of plastic that just scratches by looking at it, this towel would be my answer. I would use this towel as this is arguably one of the softest and safest towels, not just from a detailing standpoint, but from a cleaning standpoint as well. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the new color as well as the new GSM, and hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. So as always, thank you guys all for watching and have a fantastic day.